What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? I am so excited about this new segment here on the channel. We will be interviewing people, yes, hosting people here where we're going to find out about who they are, not AMAs, not asking them a million questions about their projects, but we're going to talk to them as real people. Because at the end of the day, I've said this before, tell me who's behind a project, tell me the person, tell me who they are, tell me their character, tell me that they're real, and I will be more than happy to stand behind it. That's the goal. Because there's plenty of projects, there's plenty of things being built on Web3. But right now, we don't always get a feel of who these people really are. So my goal here is to bring you the stories, to bring you who these people are deep down inside. And I am excited to start out with somebody that is quite young. He's in his 20s, and you know, I almost called him a young man, and I'm like, wait, that's gonna make me sound like I'm a 60-year-old, but that's okay. The reason I'm really excited about this is because so many of you are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s here on the channel, and I want to make sure you understand that this could be you. I hope that these interviews serve as inspiration for the next thought leader, for the next person who's going to build something incredible. The goal is more than just letting you meet somebody, but also inspire you to let you know that yes, there is an opportunity in Web3. This space is just starting out, and you can make incredible things if you set your mind to it, if you get the right people behind you, if you just have a great idea that others will support. So don't lose hope if you have a grand idea but haven't gotten it off the ground. Hopefully these set of interviews that are going to be coming through the next few months here on the channel will inspire you to create your next big thing. But without further ado, let's get right into this interview with Koby, because I'm sure you guys are going to love it. Well, I am so happy to have Koby Lazar, which should really be Koby Lazar, because that's a much better stage name, with me today to talk about what in the world he's been up to. And this is the first of a series of incredible interviews that I'm going to bring to you guys. And let's just kick it off. Hey, Koby, it's so awesome to have you with us.
Hey, Action, thanks for having me on. I'm going to consider the name change. Happy to be on your stage here today with Lazar, but we'll see how it goes.
I was just, thinking out loud, just literally came to me. It was one of those things like, hey, there's a few people that made that name work. So why not, piggyback on that? You got Michael Jordan. Now you got Michael B. Jordan. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, for sure. And if you change if you change a few letters around, you get to Lamar. So you get Koby and Lamar in there. So, shuffle it up.
Oh, you're good. Talk about SEO. We can definitely play with that one right there. But here's the deal. We want to do interviews here a little bit differently, because it is so easy for you to go to any crypto channel and see people talking about new projects. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening there. And something I always try to talk about is who in the world is actually running this thing. And when you know the person behind, the project, the thing that they're building, the app, it becomes a lot easier personally to just say, take my money. And it's because there needs to be trust. And this space, I'm sure comes with a lack of that a lot of times. It's people definitely not trusting each other, saying, well, if it's not on blockchain, can't trust it. And they're always going back to the blockchain. But who's building things on the blockchain? It's people. And this exchange here is all about that, is getting to know the people behind the things that are getting built. So I'll start off with a very, very broad statement and question to you. You're a really cool guy. I've gotten to meet you in person, but can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so name is Koby. You probably remember the last name by now. I've been working in crypto since about 2013, 14, or I should say I got involved just in some Dogecoin communities on Reddit, poking around before they sent a car to NASCAR. I got really into crypto mostly because it taught me everything about the typical financial institutions that existed before and exist till today for quite some time, I'm sure. So I got really interested in the realm of finance when I was just younger at like 13, 14. I already had a Fidelity account, or I should say my father's, that I was doing like penny stock trades, having a 100th share of Apple. But then I really got interested in finding out more about how finance is built, what it means when someone has a few dollars in their Chase account, where that money really is. And crypto was just a really great gateway to a whole education process I didn't know existed.
Oh, that's awesome. And now, that's the gateway. And now you're definitely doing bigger and better things, right? What are you working on currently?
Yeah, so as you just mentioned, trust is huge, especially when you're tackling the project that I've started with. So I set out with Eucalyptus Labs to first prove our skills in crypto development, marketing, communications by launching a simple product called Koala Wallet, which is essentially a kind of a passport to the ecosystem of Kadena. So Kadena is this amazing blockchain with incredible throughput and some really brilliant technical promises. Solving some really big technical challenges. But getting there, there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built along the way. So you see wallets out there like Exodus, a big multi-coin wallet, or Phantom, a huge Solana, single asset. And we knew they all existed. We knew there were a bunch of single coin wallets out there, but we set out to make a really, really great foundation for an ecosystem to really thrive on top of that ground layer. So that's what we started building. We've launched it to over, I think, 3,000 individual devices now. Which is really large for this community that we're just getting started in on iOS and Android. And I guess, it's going to be new to me and different talking more about myself than Koala Wallet or Eucalyptus Labs, but I'm excited for the challenge to dive more into my history, my experience. You can always push me on course, but I get really excited about talking about Koala Wallet. I encourage everyone to download it. But it's really been a combination of a lot of what I've learned about crypto and traditional businesses along the way since diving into that world.
How much are we getting paid to let him talk about? Wait, we're not getting paid? Okay, yeah. So we're not getting paid to talk about Koala Wallet. So we'll limit that as much as possible.
Right. Absolutely. Right. The sponsorships for now, we'll stick with Wix.com.
No, I'm totally joking. But how did you come into this ecosystem? Because obviously the reason I know you is because of Kadena. How did you get into the Kadena ecosystem in the first place?
Yeah, Kadena, I saw it more as, of course, just an initial investment in, I think, 2018 or 19. I definitely met some of their team at a conference in 2019. And I was just a speculative investor from then on after meeting with one of their founders in a bar where I wasn't even old enough to grab a drink yet. I had a Coke and Sprite, don't even drink Coke. Anyways, so I met some of their team. I thought their promises were out there. I sent it to some mathematician friends smarter than I am. And they said, this is really cool based on some actual math. Called graph theory. So they took a look and gave me a vote of confidence as an investor. Then fast forwarding to 2021, 2022, I saw a really great re-entry point into a growing ecosystem where investor capitalists, had finally taken note of the power of both the network effect and also an actual blockchain network where people are starting to build entire, existing metaverses already on the Solana blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain. So once a lot of other people started, dogpiling onto that value, I said, well, we're going to have this huge gold rush now. But at the end, the people who are building the infrastructure are really going to have a say in building the future for the users. So that's what we did. We started from infrastructure on a consumer level to get right into the hands of people.
So you talked about being young a couple of times already. That seems to come up. And I try to do a little bit of homework. I try to watch other interviews you've done with other people. And that seems to come up more often than not. So with that, I think that you do have a pretty, experienced team, but you're leading the charge as one of the youngest person. Are you the youngest on the team?
Yeah, so there is an intern who's a bit younger than I am, or quite a bit younger, and I think he's 15 or 16, also on the East Coast here. But yeah, I think I am probably the youngest right now on the team. Just in years alone, we have about a team of 13 or 14 now. Like you said, they're around 36, 37 median average. So we definitely believe in having very competent and real adults in the room, both the advisors and my two co-founders, much older and more wise than I am. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Challenging? Like that, honestly, just be candid. Like, has that been challenging in any way? Like, how has that affected your career? Because it's crazy to talk about career, right? Because you're starting out, but look at you. You're doing fantastic. You're leading the charge in a, pretty new blockchain and doing some awesome things. So the age, does it matter? Has it impacted you? Have you seen things that are negative? Have you, received a different kind of treatment at times because of it?
Yeah, I think, my first online job that I made for myself was posting on Minecraft server forums posting for a server hosting company. Actually, I guess before that, I had my own Minecraft server that I was already leading the charge when I was maybe 9, 10, or 11. So to me, this feels really natural. This feels like a natural upwards climb since then co-founding a server hosting company, getting into high school shortly after that, working on the community board of Fiverr and making some videos on that platform. But slowly but surely increasing, how often I was working with teams, leading the charge, as you mentioned. And even when I was in high school, my mom will tell you that I was up at 3 a.m. taking calls with China when I worked for past cryptocurrency firms. And I'm really grateful that I was given the chance to really succeed as someone young in the field, which is why I've demonstrated that actual experience. And I think that you'll find a lot of the team that's with me. It's been such a smooth process and maybe not so hard because they are familiar with my experience. They are confident in me as a leader, and I'm more than confident in them as individual units of the team and also as larger members of it. So I think it's a lot in part to that team. It's a lot in part to the experience that I've already had, far from Minecraft, again, focusing on, server hosting companies and further work down the line in wallet and crypto infrastructure. So yeah, I've had a lot of really unique experiences that are maybe odd for someone my age. I worked in a lab in Israel for quite a bit, doing psychoneuroimmunology research. Fancy word, not that crazy of a subject. There's a lot of different things in my resume, I hope, that I've collected along the way already at this age that definitely help. But also being so young in such a young field has its vast benefits that I probably don't need to explain too much in depth.
Yeah. What was that lab thing you were doing again?
Yeah, so I was really lucky to be doing some research in a mouse lab, looking at the connection between depression and the brain and the body. So we came up with this what my job in the lab was coming up with a new assay for looking at how we connect microglia, which is a glial cell in the brain, to depression by looking at the connections between microglia and neurons. And so using confocal microscopy, we were able to come up with a really great assay that we used in a great research paper published about a year or two ago. So, a lot of really unique experiences that have, again, working in that kind of lab. That's one of the reasons why we started Eucalyptus Labs with labs in mind. Each of our founders has had a lot of experience in research, such as Tim Moulter with DARPA contracts and with working on some crazy memory resistor technology. So when we were looking at blockchain and saying, how do we make a company that succeeds? We said, well, everything we've done together, whenever we take more time, put that whole, research, analysis-based approach into effect when creating a product, adverse to the quarterly business cycle of we have to always be shipping, we have to always be moving fast and breaking things. You can't afford to move fast and break things in a lab where you're dealing with glass slides and formaldehyde. So I don't think this analogy directly translates in a lot of ways, but in a few thematic, it really does. And so that's really why we went with Eucalyptus Labs. Eucalyptus sounds swankier. Labs remind us to take our time.
Why eucalyptus, though?
Eucalyptus. So the first idea with Kadena was Koala, and the idea has always been to build much more than a wallet company. I think that our users know that. We tell them it all the time that we know that this is the base level of what we can provide in terms of value, and the next step is giving them more tools to actually get the value of what they're storing in a Koala Wallet. So we wanted something that was definitely related to Koala and around it. And we also have some other things cooking up that will definitely explain the eucalyptus a little bit more. No bath bombs, but more towards the side of some software development.
I'm a little disappointed, I gotta say. I do love those bath bombs.
Just wait in the mail.
No, that's cool. I will tell you, and this is not me tooting your horn here, I have had conversations with other team members from the Eucalyptus Lab team. And what they've said about you is, regarding the age thing, is that the reason why it doesn't matter is because you're not trying always to tell them what to do, but instead you're leading the charge from behind a lot of times. You're the person that encourages them to do what they're good at. And I can't tell you that how important that is and how lacking at times the whole world, honestly, like regardless of what business types you're talking about, they don't know how to do that. they have these really strong leaders that are going, we're going to go this way. Let's go follow me. And you don't see the people that are really supporting the crowd that are saying, hey, what do you need? How can I get you to where you want to be? And that's what I've heard from your team about you, which is why having this conversation, having you as the first person in this segment is, you know, a no-brainer to me. It's this. You're the type of person I think people need to hear more from. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and take a compliment without being awkward about it. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I'll try not to. But I always liken it to an orchestra conductor without all the yelling. But I'm really just here to wave my hands and to, you know, get things in order and keep it up to pace. But everyone always wonders, you know, I think it works best if everyone can always wonder, does he really have to be there? So I try to lead from you know, back. And, you know, just ask people, what do you need? How can I bring more value into, you know, what you're doing? So less business development talk, which I know I'm okay at, and more just saying, how can I help you make your day faster and more efficient?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's definitely the way to go about it. Let me throw you a little bit of a harder question. Are koalas secretly gremlins?
Are koalas?
Take a look at this picture.
I think you really stumped me with this one.
I want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from, because this is a real thing. You understand how gremlins work, right? Like the reason they come out is when they get wet. So looking at this image,
I think this is actually, we've had this problem before. This is a koala user who didn't back up their wallet. This is something that can happen to you if you don't back up your mnemonic phrase. So take those 24 words, write them down in 2 separate locations, one in the safe, one at your mom's house. Protect your assets. Don't become a gremlin, and you'll be fine.
I think that's the best answer I could have hoped for with that one. Honestly, that's awesome. But, you know, talking about interviewing, you've done a lot of interviews because you're coming out to be the face of Koala Wallet. So how do you feel about celebrity interviews?
Celebrity interviews, as in interviewing a celebrity, or
I mean, in general? I mean, this is what this is turning out to be. So, considering the number of places you've been, you know, at the people you've talked to, that's what we're kind of getting at right now. So, how do you feel about them? You know,
I'm lucky if people want to hear my voice and hear what's up at Eucalyptus. I'm always pushing other team members like Tim and Brendan to get out into the spotlight, since they're, you know, working every single day, either with the developers directly or with users, answering problems and support. I think I have 310 Twitter subscribers, not that I'm counting religiously. And if anyone wants to follow me over there and maybe make this more of a...
No. I slid into your DMs. I never got a reply, I got to say. So I think it's an activity issue over there.
All right. So we've resolved, since that incident, we have resolved these problems. Thank you to Action CEO. And we will, I will definitely be replying there. If you send me a DM, a question, expect a response.
All right. So with celebrity interviews, like even on TV, the way things always go is that they go on shows to talk about the thing that they are doing and the thing that they're promoting. Why is that necessary? Is doing the thing not enough?
Oof. Yeah, I think that doing the thing is enough, actually. And I think we've always, you mentioned no sponsorship in the beginning. We've waited for people usually to come to us and say, hey, we want to talk and get some questions off you. And depending on what they're looking to learn about, I'll try to offer up if I can do the talk or if someone else is better fitted. I don't like celebrity interviews unless if it's like long form, like Lex Friedman or someone sitting down for a while to get at real topics and issues. And I'm also well aware that when they do those little like game show interviews with all those people have been on the road for days suffering through the same 10 questions. So I always appreciate, for example, you're asking me totally different questions I haven't heard before. And I'm not a fan of just, going there to sell.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, because you can watch any of those interviews and they're all the same. They're all the same thing. Like, what are you getting that's new? What are you getting that's exciting out of this? Like, usually nothing, because it's all the same thing. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Let me ask you something. I actually saw, because I did my homework, I saw a keyboard in the background of one of the interviews that I was watching. So tell me about those interests, like those unique hobbies that you have that other people don't know about.
You mean a piano keyboard? Okay, because I just, sadly, my nice Logitech keyboard just passed away. We're going to be contacting the warranty and looking into that. But yeah, so I do really love music. I really like jazz. I really like a lot of the pop you hear on the radio now and in the 80s. First concert was Depeche Mode. I get to brag about that a lot. I think that was in 2013. Anyways, I really like music. I really enjoy reading some good books right now. Definitely a little bit too involved with fitness at times. I used to be an instructor for those silly spin classes. If you're wondering why maybe can yell at people on a leader, it's because of those sweaty spin classes. What else can I give away online? And I love a lot of like nerdy engineering YouTube videos. So shout out to channels like, you have your Vsauce, you have your Practical Engineering,
you too?
Wendover Productions. I could go on. Oh man,
Veritasium. I mean, I'm right there with you. Like that's what takes up all my days.
Every day. What's up, Destin? Yeah, exactly. And then I see you also have I'm guessing a bass guitar back there.
I do. Yeah, I got keyboard,
okay,
bass. I got ukulele.
Setup.
So
the next instrument for me to learn is going to be guitar. I currently play piano and vibraphone, and I sing and a few other things too. But definitely want to get into some more chords. And anyways.
No, that's awesome. I mean, when COVID hit, that was my thing. I was like, I need to pick something else up. So I already play bass. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to play guitar. So now I play guitar and ukulele because of COVID.
Nice.
And 2 kids, because of it as well. But that's a whole other story.
Whole other story. 2 cats, but I can't really relate there. So.
Well, yeah. No, I'm with you. You got time. You got time, buddy. But are you on, like, since this is a late night talk show, are you on the market? Are you available right now? Because I think there's plenty of people out there looking to find out.
I'm definitely not looking for my Carolyn Ellison, I think her name was. Not, so crypto nerds like me stay away. I have 2 cats and I'm very happy. So I like to cook and
you need to stop talking right now. No, you're giving people more reasons. Like I play
it's not working out for me.
Yeah, I play music. I'm into engineering. I cook. Like you're like making yourself out to be the whole package. That's only gonna make more
we're hitting
DMs.
the bar together.
Yeah, I mean the DMs are gonna like flood right now. All right, let me give you a couple of real quick ones just so that we can get to the bottom of how good of a person you really are.
Sure.
You mentioned books. If you had to stick with one book for the rest of your life, could only read it over and over again, which one would it be?
Oof. You know what? Since we're on the topic of leadership, maybe Turn the Ship Around. It's by an ex-captain of a Navy submarine, a nuclear submarine, who really focused on leading from bottom up instead of top-down command. I didn't want to point to this when you're asking about the leadership style, but everything I know is either from working with the people I've worked with right now or from books. And that's definitely the one I'd point to, not only for leading a business or an organization, but just being a good person and making sure you're listening and, again, trying to actually solve problems.
That's awesome. So keeping things on repeat, let's talk music. What's one song that if you had to pick one song and listen to it over and over again for the rest of your life, what would that one be?
That's a tough one. Let's go with something by a younger musician you might know, Jacob Collier. This guy I think he's 26 or 27. I don't know, won quite a few Grammys. And he has some pretty intense songs with like Moroccan rhythms and all kind of crazy drums. So I don't know if everyone out there is going to fit their style, but probably something off of one of his albums like Hajanja, or not sure how you say it.
I don't think he even knows it, but
something along those
that's
lines.
Okay, because every time he plays it, it's different.
Maybe not, but check out Jacob Collier, and
he is awesome. You're dead on, and having the crowd be part of the band is like the coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
it's incredible.
Absolutely.
The way that he just like gets everybody involved, and it's like, no, this is not a show. This is like participation required.
It's going to church,
which
I don't really know anything about, but it feels like he's going to the church, you know?
Yeah, no,
he go to temple, something like that.
He brings people together for sure. I love it. All right, so those kind of made sense, but let's take it up a notch. Like, what's the all-time best Action movie.
Action movie. You know what? I'm slacking on the movies. When people ask, like, "Oh, you've accomplished a bunch. How you do it?" I'm like, I haven't seen a lot of movies. Maybe not my first response, but action movie. Man, I'm gonna give away my age now if I can't remember the title of this one. You know what? I'll have to swing back around when I can remember in which. Maybe it's American Gangster. Is that it? We'll get there. We'll remember.
Yeah, that's a drama, but that's cool.
Yeah, no, right. So it's not that one. It's not that one then. I don't know. What would you have one on deck like that for questions? Do you have one just ready to like?
No,
like
never.
That?
I never prep anything.
Never.
I always, wing it. Everything's off the cuff.
So do you have like a favorite action movie of today?
Favorite? Well, that's the thing. It does change, right? Like that's the thing people don't realize.
Right.
Like something
of
you love.
Today.
Yeah,
of
something
today,
you
though.
love today might not be what you love tomorrow, but like Christmas just happened, so Die Hard is running through the blood right now.
That's why didn't I say Die Hard? I could have created a lot of favorites. I had said Die Hard.
It's okay. You already talked about how you love cooking and you play music. That's more than enough. You got plenty of fans from that.
Got a little bit in there.
Yeah. All right. So to me, this is like the most important thing, and it's a little bit more in depth because people that watch YouTube videos that want to learn from people that are doing things right, they aspire to do things that you've done. They aspire to do things similarly or sometimes in the same line of work, or even just be a successful leader like you are right now. What would you give as far as advice goes to aspiring entrepreneurs that are going, okay, what do I do? What's next?
First off, don't ever close doors. Keep your mind really open to different possibilities in terms of coming to the table. For example, when you don't see a job application on a site, that doesn't mean they're not looking for someone really excited to provide value for that business, even during a recession or hard time. So little things like that, where you're just never shutting yourself off to opportunity, because that's one of the largest ways that you can grow right now in this crazy changing time of economy and jobs, or the job market. It's a lot about the mindset you have, I think, when you are denied for either something like a partnership going through or just a job in general or a project. Just saying, all right, that's fine. Something else is going to open. We're going to get working on that. But also persistence, that you just, don't give up easily when someone tells you no, or when a concept fails the first time. These are really like scattered things, not as well written as in one of the books I could recommend that would summarize it better than I would. Lastly, definitely try to still, while you're working really hard and maybe doing that whole waking up at 4 a.m. to do your 3 hours of meditation, still prioritize, finding time to make yourself happy with things like those hobbies, things you can do between your crazy work sessions. Go to the gym, get out for a walk, talk to your family, see if your cats want any food. So, it's just about mixing in kind of more balance to your work, even if your life is your work. And for me, I don't have a lot of work-life balance. It's what I do. It's what I like to live in. But I still bring a lot of other things into that field, so that while I'm in this crazy, work mode, I can still enjoy life and not, become burnt out.
No, that's
I hope
huge.
Somewhere in there with some cryptic advice. The last part of that, though, is that I think it's 99% luck in a lot of cases. So that 1%, you have to set yourself up for success and not just wear a black t-shirt everywhere. Sometimes, but not everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's me. I get it.
Yeah.
But you said that is 99% luck and 1% things you do. So do you remember a time in your life that you might say, I took this action and it led me to where I am today? And there could
I
be
should
many.
clarify in that.
There could be many. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that really set off my career in cryptocurrency was having an idea. And there was, like I just mentioned, there was no job application for the firm that I wanted to work with or for. I sent them the idea of the idea. I didn't think I'd get them signed into an NDA. But I think I was really just trying to see if anyone would work with it, work with the idea, or work with me. And they sent me back that they were really interested in the idea. They were pursuing something like it, and that they wanted to see if I could help them with it in the process. So it was just that one simple step of thinking, hey, this idea might be good enough. And we didn't pursue that idea. We pursued something completely different. But that was probably something that really set my work course in another direction from that opportunity. But I don't know if there would be any, flicker or light bulb moment that really set something else rolling.
So the action you took ultimately failed, but it opened doors for you to do other things and put you in the position that you are today.
I think so.
That's wild. Yeah. So,
and I do mean that, it's not 99% of everything is luck. I mean that in just fields so competitive and with chances so slim, that, I guess to get fully there to the 100%, maybe that's a better analogy, that it is 99% and the 1% work to get to that 100% or for that goal to click in. But, persistence increases your odds.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like right now, the size of my YouTube channel is much greater than a lot of other people that have been doing this for even longer than I have. And I can't take it for granted, right? I don't look at it going, oh yeah, it is what it is. No, like I am super appreciative of where I am today. Did it take work? Did it take actions for me to get here? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, celebrating even the smallest wins does matter, right? And the people around you, as soon as they see that, like, oh, you're excited about this, I guess I can be excited about it too, is exactly what you're talking about. It's enjoying the things that you might even have to call work, even if you hate it sometimes. Trying to find that joy, trying to find that happiness inside of it makes it so different and so exciting. And it's really good to hear that that's the type of environment that you guys have over there at Eucalyptus Labs.
For sure. We always tell whenever we're in recruiting that hiring is the most important thing we do. And creating that culture and that workplace for success is really not secondary, but it's going to be a result of really good hiring and really good people all being in one, Discord together. And then we also tell candidates that we're not going to work so hard to sell you on why the culture here is amazing or incredible or something through the process. We're just going to have a period in which you enter the company and you see if it's the right fit for you. We have a really amazing, employee retention, especially like team member coming in from a different firm to a startup. That kind of retention is only, I think, like in the 30% for the first 30 months. We have something along the lines of 90%. It might be a little higher than 90. Not only because we came with a lot of the same people working together for a long time, but because, we don't make crazy promises. We let people come and add what they can and take collective benefit in just having a really positive mindset and place to work.
That's awesome, man. All right. Since you paid millions to do this interview here, I want to make sure that you get to, at least do your speech that you've done a million times and, telling people what you're building and where people can find you, what they should be checking out. So let it rip, man. What do you got?
Here we go. We're 30 minutes in. I have about 30 minutes left. No, I think everyone knows by now, koalawallet.io. Go check out the webpage. If you like the webpage and you like what's on it, you're probably going to like the app that we spent a lot of time developing. Go download the app. I think you're really going to like it. I think that the updates we have coming up are going to really make it a better experience for you and Kadenians overall. And your vote of confidence is what matters, talking to the viewer. So go check it out. I trust you.
That's awesome, man.
That's it. Spiel done.
I've heard you talk about education, acquisition, and adoption a bunch and all of these,
That's my talking point. That's the one we hit.
You're like, I just write 3 bullet points and then I go off of that. Is that usually how it works?
You're so right. I did that in preparation for the first interview I ever did. And then I was like, you know what, this makes sense. It's what we wanted to do. It covers it. And so, I don't really change up a lot of that messaging because it's just what it has been from day one.
Yeah. And it's working. Let me tell you, it's working. Getting,
it's working.
Kadena Ecosystem, .com out there, getting people to understand what this whole ecosystem is doing, how people are building, what people are building, and then acquiring users by providing them value and ultimately getting them to adopt your wallet because of that trust that you built. I mean, that's the whole package right there.
Exactly. You said it better than I could have. And like you mentioned, we also have some other things going on, like KadenaEcosystem.com. It's not something to make money. It's to educate about Kadena. So check that out too, KadenaEcosystem.com. But these are a lot of resources that the Kadena community have already been self-recommending to others, and that we're just responsible for, helping manage the content on there and getting some interviews out. But other than that, the community has done a great job of helping us get that page out there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely helped a lot of us, and myself included, because I've even used it to create videos. It's a really nice resource. So I appreciate you guys spending the time, energy, and money to put that together.
For sure. It was lacking, so we said, let's fix it. And something else we were really proud to do is not put a timeline to it. We just said internally, let's make this the proper site it has to be. Let's develop it until it's ready, and let's launch it without too much hubbub. So that's kind of how we like to roll.
Yeah, no, and like I said, it's definitely been working. I'm excited to see what you guys have on the horizon. That's going to explain a little bit more what this eucalyptus is all about. I really am excited. A little disappointed that it's not going to be bath bombs like you said, but that's okay. I'll trust you on it, and I'll just wait it out.
I appreciate your trust, your confidence, I should say.
Absolutely, Koby. Any final words? Anything you think that people should know about, Koby Lazar, the man, the legend?
The man, the legend. I guess you've made me think a lot now about why we've decided to do this press junket tour of just talking to whoever we can. And the real reason, come back to what you said in the beginning of trust. We're not only, we're not per se asking users for money in return for a service. That's a really direct way to earn trust. If we provide said service or commodity, we win your trust if it is of high quality. We're actually asking users to trust us to help them protect and self-store their assets. So I think there's a whole other layer that goes along with that. And of course, we just completed a great security audit with Red4Sec, and we're about to release the findings from it with everything already addressed. So there's that way to address trust and security. And I think the next step is really what we're doing here, of talking to the community, hearing the feedback, sharing our experience, and letting both of those streams of dialogue and ideas kind of shape the product and move Eucalyptus forward. So that's definitely why we're here. And I appreciate the deeper questions than just, what's come next to Koala. Even though that's useful and helpful, I think the community has heard it. And so I think they'll be really excited to get to your other interviews with some other great people in the ecosystem.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for those, but really excited that you said yes to this one, and kind of kicking things off, which is the pinnacle of being open to trying something new, because who knows what I'm going to ask and if you're going to be okay answering it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you so much, Koby. I really appreciate your time, and we're definitely going to see you around. I'm going to stay up to date what's going on with your projects, Eucalyptus Labs as a whole. So I can't wait to see the next thing come out. I'll definitely be covering it, letting people know exactly what's happening out there. And thank you for your time, and being a great addition to the Kadena ecosystem as a whole, providing much needed value, even not wanting to get anything in return, like you were saying with with just sharing other projects and telling people what they're doing. You got to be a little bit selfless to make something like that happen. So thank you from everybody that is part of this ecosystem. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys, and thank you actually for hosting this awesome space to chat in. And I hope to be recommending more people to these videos in the future. And thanks everyone for checking out Koala Wallet and giving us a try.
All right. Thank you so much, buddy. You have a good one.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys didn't watch this in 2x and increase that watch time. Either way, thank you. I really appreciate you guys sticking around the channel and kind of taking it in. And as always, the comment section down below is open for you guys to ask questions. If there's anything you want to know more about Koby, feel free to ask down below. I'll gather info. I'll reply to you guys. I'll make sure that you have the information that you need. As far as the giveaway is concerned, I will give you guys a free Koala Wallet. Just go to Android store or iOS store. It is free over there. But Hopefully this serves as inspiration from here on out for you to create your next big thing. And if you have an idea and you don't know how to get it off the ground, leave a comment down below. We'd love to collaborate here on the channel. There's plenty of people that literally scroll through these comments and reply to your messages as well. I will do it, but I'm sure there's plenty others as well. And there's just such a wealth of knowledge when you bring people together, people that are like-minded, that are interested in growing and achieving the next big thing. So take a look down below. If you guys got questions, if you got answers for other people, hit them up on the comments, because this is a wonderful growing community. And I hope to see you on the next video, on Twitter, on Discord, and all the other platforms that we can connect in. Thank you all so much. YouTube's putting up some recommendations on the side and telling you to subscribe, which is a good idea. That bell for notification goes a long way, because otherwise you don't get the notifications that I'm putting out new videos, because there is a vast amount of content that gets put out. So I'll see you guys on the next one.